Big thing is we're going to take a little wider stance, right? And a lot of times we're going to have to get a little more loft on it, so we'll open up the club face a little bit, right? When you open up the club face, like we talked about with pitching, is that it's going to go a little more to the right. So we got to counteract that with aiming left. So I'm going to kind of open my stance up nice and wide, a little bit left of my target. I'm going to take that ball. When it comes down to ball positioning, we want that in the front of your stance. So what you were kind of doing, you had a little bit more towards the center of your stance, center back, maybe. The more you have it in the front of your stance, the easier you're going to make that divot sweep right underneath the balls, because that's going to be very important. So we line up ball position. That's a big issue when you watch the ball stay that high and it hangs up really high in the air. That means one, the launch angle is too high, and two, that there's a little bit too much spin on the ball. Okay. The more spin you have, it gets hung up like that, no roll. Okay. And so high ball flight, spin, not going to get any extra help from the fairway afterwards. So it's just going to sit where you hit it. Let's talk about now what might be going wrong. So I saw a couple things. First off, our alignment was just a little bit to the right, so that's obviously going to make the ball go to the right in the first place. Second off, I did see that our swing path is a little bit from in to out. So what that means is that when you're swinging, your club is coming this way. It's obviously exaggerated, but it's going like this, and with a slightly open club face. So when you do that, that's going to create a lot of draw spin on it, or it can just create a straight push. So when the club face is open, it's going to be a straight push. When it's kind of square to the target and it's going outwards, it's going to make that big draw that you'll see a lot. So I want you to understand the ball flight laws. That's very important for you, because you'll be able to give yourself some feedback based on what you see from your ball flight. So when you get shaft, is going to make a big difference. It's a low spin, low trajectory shaft, which is going to help you out. The degree of the driver is 9.5, so it's also extra stiff. So you have a high swing speed, so it should work out pretty good for you. Just try to put some good swings on it. Our setup here, let's just go over it. We're sitting on the apron of the green. Okay, don't have too much area to the green to putt, right? So we need to chip this, but we also have a lot of green to cover, right? So what we're talking about is the best out of those three decisions to help you read the green, kind of get a consistent shot out of.
Probably none to none with a low ball, low club, just to get it on the green and roll.
Low ball, we pick a spot. So this is going to be really helpful for you, because it's going to help you with your alignment. Your setup right there, you're going to have something to reference, right? Yep. So that's our one thing we're talking about. Your lineup is a little right, so it's going to be a good little reference point there. It's a good kind of 2-in-1 for you. So what you're doing is you're getting that in and out swing path, right? So that's kind of showing you kind of where it's exaggerated, but where your swing path might be going. So for you, since we're getting that overdraw or push, we want to try to get a little more straight through, right? Like we were talking about. So I'm going to put this club like this, and I want you to take some practice swings and try to make it feel like you're coming across that ball. So you have to come out and bring those hands right in. Good. 50, 60, 70 yards out, right? So what are your options right now?
I could take a 60 degrees, which is my lowest club, try to throw it back there and try to get as much spin and have the ball stop.
Okay.
But I'm not really liking that idea, because, like you said before, I have a flat green, but I want the ball to roll out.
What I like here, and I want you to really focus on this stuff, is that I always go over three things with people, is that you're not really using much wrist in it. Your hands are right over the ball, so that's good. If you're using a wedge, I'd have your hands a little more forward, but when you're using a 7-iron, that's great. So always I want you to pay attention to these three things, is that shaft right there, where your hands are over the ball. So I love your position there. Your weight, it's about 60, 40, which is awesome. When you have your weight forward, you tend to be able to get down towards the ball more rather than hitting behind it. So you're making a little gate here, just a little bigger than your putter, just so it can be a little tough on you. And now that you're set up there, put a ball right in the center. Now we have a nice little gate to make sure you're going straight through it. Okay. And if you're going outwards or inwards at it, which will cause you to toe or heel the putt, then you're going to hit one of those tees. You'll be